Okay, so here are my stones. I got three of the latest ones, and this one right here, second one from the left, is my largest ever. I passed that after surgery. Apparently, that was part of the bits and pieces that I had passed on my own after having the laser surgery done. Now, how long can a stone stay in your bladder after it passes from the kidney? So basically, my story is a pretty interesting one. So basically, my story is a pretty interesting one. This one here on the far left came down one night before I was going to a tennis match. I paused for about 20 to 30 minutes, had the pain, it dissipated, and I felt I was okay to go to the tennis match and continue because I passed 40, 50 stones prior to this one, and I knew the symptoms. I knew it would be in the bladder and it would come out whether that night or in a couple days, which is the usual case. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks at the most. But this one had a different timetable. I had this one in my bladder bouncing around, causing disturbance and a lot of issues for 8 months, nearly a year. And I was already referred to a urologist because trying to pass on my own was just not working, getting frustrated. I just couldn't believe that this one took so long and was bothering me so much. So, the symptoms. The symptoms were burning sensation, inconsistent flow when I urinated. Some days it would seem I would have the prostate of a 90-year-old where it was just down to a trickle, and I really had to wait and be patient to finish urinating. And then the sensation that it gives that you need to urinate about every hour, and it's just not an average sensation, it's a sensation of, hey, you need to go now. I got a lot of pressure and a lot of sensation on the doorway, and it's like if you've been holding it for 5 hours, 6 hours, and you really have to go. But since it was only an hour, I will only have to go an hour's worth of urine. So it wasn't much. Very frustrating. Try going out and doing things socially, trying to be active, going to work. If you have to piss every hour, for sure. That for 8 months is it's almost like low grade freaking torture. So I had to deal with that. Now, these two on the end were passed after this one came down. So when this little one passed, I was like, wow, this thing's caused me all the problems? Apparently not, because I still suffered the same symptoms like if nothing passed. So I assumed either this one came down alongside or came down connected to this and broke off due to the running around I do with tennis, and probably it bouncing around in the bladder might have broke off and came down. So the good news was something came out, and I was hoping this was preventing this from coming down, and now maybe this will come down easier. Not the case. And then a month goes by or so, and this one passes, and I'm like, wow, that's a pretty good sized stone. I can't believe this one's giving me all the trouble. It's got to be weird, man. I mean, I passed bigger than that, obviously, but I was relieved it passed. I felt some of the symptoms get relieved, but after a few days, the same symptoms would return, and I realized I still had something there, and this was really frustrating. I'm glad I passed a decent sized stone. That's a little bit less than my largest stones, but it's pretty decent on its own. And I was still suffering. 8 months go by. During these 8 months, I'm doing sessions with Flomax because I don't like to take it back to back. So let's say I got a free weekend, I'm not going to go anywhere, do anything important. I jump on a Flomax, I start loading up on fluids, doing everything trying to pass the stone, jumping jacks, everything. All the tricks in my previous videos I'm using. And never do I even come close. And I feel this is an impossible mission, and that's why I was considering seeing the urologist again. I attempted to get a sonogram of the stone to see how large it was, to either give me the confidence that I would pass it, or if I really needed to see the urologist. So the sonogram, they couldn't find it because I couldn't empty enough. No, I had to keep my bladder full in order for the sonogram to be effective. But how do you keep a full bladder when you gotta piss every hour? It was just impossible to line up the doctor's appointment with a full bladder when you had to piss every hour. So when I went, it was inconclusive. They did find small stones in my kidney still, not as many as I thought, and they were all small. So finding out the size of this seemed impossible doing it that way. So I still continue to deal with the symptoms. 8 months, wake up in the morning, I go to the bathroom, and boom, super sharp pain. I feel it jammed on the way out, gave it a second push, and it passed. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell is this? This thing felt like a Cadillac just ran through. And I knew exactly what it was. I was a little bit in shock, but not really. And then I was super relieved because I said, that has to be the one. And it was. This thing is a monster. And the weight of it, it's pretty heavy. Can't believe how heavy this is. That's pretty solid. There's no way any lemon juice or stone breaking fluids or whatever they sell is gonna wear that thing out when it's formed. I can't say they don't prevent, but once a stone like that is formed, I don't think anything that your body could withstand could wear that out. I think it's just impossible. And even crushing this with the muscle contractions in the body, there ain't no crushing that. That's not changing shape unless you get a pair of pliers or a hammer. So even a laser probably has trouble knocking that thing out to smaller chunks. Well, that's the story of this stone. It took about 8 months to pass it. Miserable 8 months, although I just had to schedule my activities around a bathroom being accessible and close by, which was pretty difficult and limited a lot of things. I had to turn down a lot of things just because I didn't feel comfortable going in this condition. And that's the story of this stone and how long it takes, or how long it's possible for a stone to leave the bladder once it makes it there from the kidney. This is a worst case scenario. All of my 50 previous stones, it takes about hours to days to possibly a week or two. But this one broke the damn record for being the largest stone I ever passed. And I wasn't on pain medication, and I wasn't on Flomax, and I didn't particularly load up on fluids. I guess it just decided to make its appearance when it wanted to, and it passed basically on its own without tricks or assistance, even though I tried many times in the 8 months. So no matter what you do, the body is going to do what it's going to do, and chance and fate and just pure damn luck. Okay, thanks for watching. Chat at you later.